It's cool when you get to be on days like this, because both we were talking about the State of the Union, which you and I are going to talk about, obviously, but also...
I mean, we don't have to talk about it if you don't want to.
I already tweeted, you're going to be so insufferable today. I can't wait. I'm so excited.
Hello, everybody. This is JVL here with my best friend, Sarah Longwell, publisher of the Bulwark. Sarah, how are you doing this morning? There was a speech outside. I'd just love to know, what did you think about the State of the Union last night? How did it work for you?
I really want to hear how it worked for you. I would say I've already been up for a couple hours. I've been on TV, and I will say what I said there, which is that you know how well Joe Biden did by how annoyed Republicans are this morning, how annoyed they were last night. I can't wait to get into all of this with you because I will say I watched it. Mm-hmm. And I do this thing when Joe Biden talks where I sit on my couch with my hands out.
Were your knuckles white?
Like I want to steady him with my own hands. And he got up there, and when he started talking, I sat up straight and I said, oh, look, there he is. And it was top notch from start to finish, including the actual car crash, train wreck, plane in flames, follow-up delivery by Katie Britt in her rebuttal.
That's a whole separate topic. Let's talk about her afterwards.
All right, so JVL, now it's my turn to
say.
I want to put a quarter in the machine,
yeah,
and I want to let it run. Go ahead, baby boy.
I mean, I'm not surprised. If you recall, we did a State of the Union last year, and Biden was awesome. And so we did it again this year, and Biden is awesome. And at some point, don't we all just go, oh, actually, he's very good at this? Character is destiny, right? And Joe Biden's character is that he loves this shit. And more than that, he loves almost all of those people in the room. Mm-hmm. And it comes through, right? This is he is such a classic politician in that way, in that he draws energy from other people. And he genuinely likes other people, and he even genuinely likes people who don't like him. He's just, that's how he is. And did you see the reaction shot he had with Marjorie Taylor Greene as he was coming in?
I did.
And he's coming in and he sees her, and she's dressed like she is at a monster truck rally, and she's just super into Gravedigger or something, right? She's got the MAGA hat and the MAGA blaze. She's wearing pins. She does not look like a grown-up professional adult.
It's amazing.
And Biden looks at her, and Biden's reaction is to point at her and do a sort of double take, whoa, as if it's awesome. As if he is blown away by her commitment to the bit. And when you pan to her face, she doesn't know how to take it. Right? Because she's expecting him to scowl. And Biden just thinks like, hey man, that's America. How awesome is this? And when people are booing him during he loves that.
His face said, look at you. Look at you here. Marjorie, you look funny.
But also as if he was genuinely amused by it in a good-natured way. Not
totally.
Not looking down on her, but like, hey, this is all part of life's rich pageant. Isn't that awesome? And, when I don't know what the Republicans thought was going to happen when they started booing him, because, again, Biden feeds off this stuff because he doesn't get angry or embarrassed. He's one of these people who, and I'm not like this. This is when, I am not in politics, who takes this sort of stuff and it is like, yeah, come on, let's do it. I like a little give and take. Hey, he likes that. And so he's like giving it back to them. But again, not in the I'm going to dominate you way, but in the this is how it's supposed to be way. And man, when that comes through, I don't think this is just me, Johnny from Jersey, Biden super fan. I think that is very attractive to people. Now, it may not be very attractive to the MAGA types, but although I do think it unsettles them, because that's not the mode of politics they're used to. They're used to a strong man looking to dominate people. And the idea of a guy who, or they're used to the Obama mode, which is this Vulcan, super serious. Biden is just different from both of them by a lot. He's much closer to Bill Clinton than he is to either of them. Close. And George W. Bush wasn't all that far from Clinton in that way. He wasn't as pure a political animal as Clinton was. But Biden just like that. So on the substance, it was a campaign speech, basically. He did all of the stuff that we want him to do on immigration. I thought it was very effective. But he used a locution that other people, that he's used once or twice before, that I think is going to be very effective. So, I mean, he talked about Trump being as old as he was, which is funny. But then he said, it's not how old it's not the age of the person, it's the age of their ideas. And this is I think it's a very shrewd way to frame it, right? Because it talks to progress and change. And what he's saying is, Trump is just all of these old ideas. I think that is, again, in an environment where people, like we've been doing, how many change elections have we had in a row now, Sarah? 6 of them, 7 of them. I think that's useful. I don't know. I looked at it and I'm like, yes, this is why I've always said that, all due respect to Gretchen Whitmer, Biden is the best available candidate. He could certainly lose to Trump, but I think he can also beat Trump. And he's good. He's just good. He's good at presidenting and he's good at this stuff. And totally comfortable with him debating Trump. I don't think Trump wants to debate him after this. It was awesome. It was awesome.
So,
Fair. Am I wrong? Am I?
No.
Because again, I'm trying to view this objectively as what does the median person take from it?
Well, I don't know. You're a fanboy, and that's good. That's good. That's your thing. He needs some of them. I'm more of a skeptic, often, especially of. I listen to voters talk about the age question, and so I know it's real across the political spectrum, the concerns about that. I'm watching, the absence of there being sort of surrogates out there willing to defend him, be part of his echo chamber, which feels like not a vote of confidence. And I was rooting for him, right?
Sure.
And I tend to be, as somebody who does things in public and often gets like pretty afraid, like for big moments. I remember when Sarah Palin was walking across to give her first VP speech, and she was in high heels on that slick floor, and I just stood there being like, "Please don't fall, please don't fall." Like I want people to be okay generally. And so I felt that way last night. Like I was rooting for him. But I was genuinely impressed. And let me just say, I don't have blinders on. Like he was often talking too fast to be like clearly understood. There was a couple of lines that he needed to hit, like the women's reproductive rights things that he kind of garbled. It wasn't like he had no moments where he wasn't quite, getting the line perfectly clear. But the problem for Republicans, and it's not just that they misunderestimate him. That's your word, right? It's not just that they underestimate him. It's that they set bars for him. And the bar is dementia. The bar is senility. The bar is weekend at Bernie's not alive. And so last night, watching Republicans be like, he's talking too loud and too fast, I'm like, oh, you are upset because what you want to say is look at this doddering old man. And instead you're like, he's too juiced. He's got too much energy. He's too loud. Okay. Cry more, guys. Cry more. It was, he cleared the bar by so high, that, and like expectations matter. Expectations really do matter, and the expectations were low, and so he just it was like out of the ballpark. And that might not, if he was Bill Clinton, that wouldn't have been considered a speech for the ages. But for Biden, with the stakes as high as they are, because here's what people want to see from Biden. They want to know that Biden understands the stakes of this election. I think all the hand-wringing from Democrats and the step-asides and the can he do it is like, you may have noticed Donald Trump is the alternative here, and we feel very nervous about an 81-year-old man being our candidate, especially one that doesn't seem like he goes out in public that much and can go toe-to-toe with this fascist lunatic. And
Although that's changed over the last 2 weeks. Biden has been out in public a lot more.
He has. No, he has. The things are shifting. But last night, instead of like the slow shifting of a big cruise liner, it was like a sharp turn.
Yeah.
Whoa. And here's the thing, you noted the way that he mixes it up with the Republicans, but I think what was interesting to me is that he was giving a fiery type campaign speech where the substance was for the base. The substance was very much for Democrats. But the tone was for sort of swing voters who are worried he's too old, right? And so he was giving them what they needed to be like, oh, that guy's there. He's with it. He seems, but also he did seem like sort of, it was a little bit angry at times in the way campaign speeches where or not even angry. He was going, he went right at the Supreme Court. He went right at the Republicans. He was going on offense. But when he smiles at them, when he makes the jokes about his own age, being self-deprecating, and Lindsey Graham laughs, when he had that moment where he was going on offense on immigration and he was like, we put together the toughest bill and whatever, and they started booing him and he's like, oh, you don't think so? You don't think so, huh? Those are good moments for him, and they are disarming. Republicans did not know what to do with themselves. They don't know what to do with themselves this morning. They're somewhere between like, what was an angry partisan speech? Okay.
So we have not seen a president who can work in that mode in a long time.
Yeah.
Right? Obama was certainly not like that. Trump was certainly not like that. It's been more than a decade since we've had an American president who takes that particular approach to the opposition. So here is what, again, and I could talk to you in my Biden fanboy hat, but I'm not wearing that hat. I'm wearing the JVL is always right hat. These are different hats.
It's technically a shirt, but go on.
If you were to pull together a focus group of your double doubters or your double haters or your pox on both their housers.
Yeah.
And first, you were to ask them, say, hey, so tell me what you think about Biden's age. And you let them all have their say. And then you were to show them that speech and just sit with them. And then afterwards say, so what do you guys think about the age stuff? I think it would have moved a couple of them. And that's why I say that I think it's a fact, right? The single biggest liability he has is age. The group he needs to do well with are the double doubters. And I think this puts that to bed, or at least begins to move the needle on that with some percentage of those double doubters. And that makes it a successful speech.
Yeah, I don't
Does that
think
make
it puts
sense?
it does. I don't think it puts it to bed. This is a moment in time,
fair,
but
fair.
here's one of the things that I think it really accomplished. I agree that for the double doubters, like, it gave them something to chew on, and maybe relieved some of the doubt. To me, one of the biggest things that it did, though, me and my surrogate kick, I'm always talking about the surrogates and the bench. They need to be out there for him. And my sense of their reluctance, the reason we haven't been seeing people who are willing to sort of own Biden's economy and go out and stump for him and put all their energy, their clout, their capital behind him, is they don't want that sort of 40% approval rating stink all over them.
Right.
And I do think last night he gave them a leadership cover, right? Where they could be like, no, you can go out and defend
100%.
me and feel good about it. You can go out on my behalf. Because I was watching the Democrats in the room, you could see the energy just move in their directions. Republicans looked like their sphincters were so tight at watching him come out strong. And the Democrats were loose. They were laughing. They were cheering. They were standing up. And Republicans did themselves no favors by staying in their chairs the whole time, because they just looked kind of like, a lumpy, a little lumpy sit there. Yeah. Exactly. They did look trapped. And so I think Biden set a tone where things now can start to improve. I think Pete looked ready to go run through a wall for Biden.
Yeah.
And he needed that. He needed to rally his troops. He needed to bring people to his side.
Hey, Sarah, there's more show.
Oh, there is?
Yeah.
Are we still talking? We have more talking?
We're still talking. The talking goes on. But that's only for the people who are inside the Velvet Rope, the Bulwark Plus members.
Oh, they got to subscribe.
Yeah. Tell them to subscribe. Tell the people,
You should subscribe,
Sarah.
Guys. Why wouldn't you subscribe? You get all kinds of things. You get some extra me and JVL. You get some extra me and George Conway. You get JVL's Triad. It's one of the best things the Bulwark offers. I read it at least once or twice a week.
Yes. Go and subscribe. We'd love to have you.